Hey buddy, I'm in a racing league on Nascar Heat 5,
Yes,
and
sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
I'm
sir.
live on my PlayStation on
Yes, sir.
YouTube,
Give me
and
just
I'm
a
finna
second.
send you a
I do
link
not
so you
have the
can
party
watch.
audio on, so they did not hear y'all talking. That is that was a oopsie daisy.
Man, that was like spot on. Man, that was spot on. Is my mic on? Can you hear me? Okay.
Especially with 150 laps. Guys can make mistakes, me included. So hopefully keep the cautions to a minimum, keep everybody kind of spread out so we can get a feel for the car early, so we know how to adjust later on. So, and that way we can put on a good show for everybody.
Yeah. So for the NASCAR, the first NASCAR game that you've ever played in, which was what?
Oh man, you're talking about like in the late 90s, bro.
Okay, so the starting of this league when they were doing NASCAR Heat 3, were you associated with that as well?
I've kind of been in and out. I've participated in a few leagues. That's how I met the league owner, Code Man, was on Heat 3, and I've been with them for a majority of the time, but I've kind of bounced around from one particular group to another.
So between the percentage of the races that you've been in, you felt confident enough to take a lead and all that. Do you think you're a successful driver at times and you can keep yourself steady?
Well, like this year in our series with Code, we've had some pretty good competition. So it's a matter of keeping up with some of the guys. Some of the guys come in are really quick. And so, which is what you want because it makes you better as a driver. But at the same time, we've had good racing, and a lot of the races, like my favorites, are usually the guys that don't like tracks such as road courses or the triangles, stuff like that. But there are some tracks that I'm pretty strong at, and that's what got me here to this point. But there's also some tracks that I struggle on, and that's why you play in these leagues is try to perfect your personal driving style. And thankfully to Code Man, we've had a bunch of people in here that kind of keep it interesting, so it's never one guy dominating, but I feel like I've had some pretty good runs at times, and also struggled at times. So it's just it's a humble league. It'll keep you on your toes, and I guess that's what the fans like to watch, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Awesome. Last question. Is there anyone who always seems to make it particularly hard on you on the tracks?
I wouldn't say any one individual in particular, because like I said, each driver in our league has strength at certain areas and maybe a disadvantage at others. So I wouldn't say it's one person all the time. But you know, you have your guys, you know, that you're racing, especially in practice times and stuff like that. You know how quick they are and how consistent some of the guys can be. So I wouldn't say one person in particular. I would just say that the racing between the guys at particular skill levels are great at certain tracks, not so at others. But like I said, it keeps it interesting. It keeps the viewers happy because it's not always, you know, one dude dominating all the time. And you know, it gives everybody a chance to improve and to learn about certain tracks that you might not be the greatest at. So I take it with a grain of salt, but you know, not one person in particular. No, to answer your question.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Million.
I appreciate it, buddy.
And Mr. Codeman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Fine as dandy, baby. I got a few questions for you.
Yes, sir.
Personally, what would be a code of conduct for you on the track?
You know, I kind of race people how I want to be raced. I kind of, you know, if you race me, you know, beat and bang on me, I'm gonna beat and bang on you. It don't matter who you are. If you know you want to go off in the corner and ram me in the tail, I'll go off in the corner and ram you in the tail. I'm just I race you how you race me kind of racer. That's just how I am. I try not to race dirty. You know, rubbing's racing. You know, there's gonna be, especially with it being Phoenix, you know, there's gonna be a lot of rubbing. There's gonna be a lot of racing. But everybody, you know, should have to use a brake. You know, they need to use their brake in order to get through the corners.
Thank you. So how could you describe yourself in this race? Do you think you're going to be at the top podium today?
Well, you know, as being one of the second in points, you know, fighting for a championship, a lot of tough guys out here. You know, B-Man's going to be strong, Motivated's going to be strong, Fireman's going to be right there in the mix. I'm going in this race with 0 practice laps. Have not practiced none at this track, have not thrown anything at it. I'm just going to wing it and hope for the best. It's kind of, you know, I struggle with this track, especially I struggle with 3 and 4. You know, and I wouldn't consider it 4. I just consider it a big 3. You know, so it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, you can run slap up against the wall, or you can run slap to the bottom of the apron. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of excited. I'm ready. I mean, going to give it my best shot and throw at it and put this number 2 forward F-150 and try to put it in victory lane.
That's awesome. Another question, what would be one of your weaknesses that's going to be out on the track today, do you think?
Keeping tires in the car, especially with it being, you know, the tire wear being as hard as it is on the trucks, and they already being, you know, tough to keep on the trucks. It's going to be definitely hard to, you know, conserve tires. Fuel's not going to be, you know, 150 laps. Fuel's not going to be a problem, I don't feel like. I feel like it's going to be more so who can keep the tires in the truck and who can be conservative.
What do you think will be the most challenging situation on this big track?
This track is very hard to pass on, in my opinion. Either you got to, you know, kind of bump somebody going in turn 2 and move them up, or turn 1, move them up the track and kind of go under them, or you've got to know how to work the outside, or, you know, especially with turn, you know, going in turn 3, you've got to, you know, kind of get under them or get a run off of 2 and get under them and then go in turn 3. This track is very hard to pass it.
Hold your line. All right, clear outside.
Awesome, Codeman. Thank you very much for that time.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
All
and
clear.
Whenever Casey gives me the mic back, I'll go to the next section.
Go ahead, sir. You take it over.
All right. You take it over. All right. We're going to talk about the track a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 150 laps. Long race, 3 stages. Not sure how many laps each stage is, but it's 3 stages. These guys will be doing manual cautions
Still
only,
there.
no relax, no strict cautions. It'll be manual cautions.
All clear.
The only thing that will be on is black flags from when you speed in pit road. This is a flat track. I consider it a flat track. It's 1 mile in length all the way around. It's in turns 1 and 2. It's 8 degree to 9 degree banking. On the front stretch, you got 0 to 11 degree in banking. The dog leg has got 10 degree to 11 degree in banking. Turns 3 and 4 have 9 degree. Turns 3 and 4 9 degree. On the front stretch is 3 degrees. The front stretch length is 1,551 in length. So there's a lot to it to this track. Like I was saying earlier, you know, you can coming across the finish line, you'll see a lot of guys try to cut almost to the entrance of pit road, as you've seen. I think it was last week or the week before. Brad Keselowski took and ran all the way almost to the pit road. I mean, even Jeff Gordon said that you couldn't get no lower than what you were. So I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do with this track. It's, you know, a very wide track and it narrows up in places. Pit road's going to be tricky getting on because it's in the corner and you have to lock your brakes down to be ready.
Still there.
So there's a lot of things when it comes to, you know, this track. And you know, Casey, I don't know if you've ever run on this track. You know, so like I said, it's a very challenging track. It's almost like a Pocono, you know, where, you know, it changes in so many different ways. You get what I'm saying, Casey?
Get a lot of whiplash on that neck, boy.
You're clear.
You know, I don't really know how many, you know, we'll go back to B-Me and, you know, B-Me and, do you think it's, you know, 3 corners, 4 corners, 5 corners? How many corners would you picture this track having?
Stay low.
Well, like you said, when you say it's really hard to pass, really, I guess where you gain or lose the most time would probably be in the entry, turn 3, and coming off towards the start-finish line. And like you said about Brad Keselowski dropping the wheel down low, or really low. And really, like, you have to try to outbrake someone into 1 and 2. That's really your own passing opportunities you have. So unless guys are a little bit tight to start off with and kind of hit the wall or whatever, but the track also takes a lot of grip after, I don't know, about 10, 15 laps. So you got to keep on top of your truck constantly. It's not going to run the same every time. And so you get a little bit of a higher lane, or I would say a mid lane, through 1 and 2 later on in the runs. So it just depends on your driving style, where you like to keep the car. You got to stay in the throttle. If not, you're just going to get blown by. So.
Right. In my opinion, you know, with like turn 3, I kind of cut the corner. I say, you know, I kind of sweep out going in and kind of cut once I'm in the center, and then I let the truck drift back up. That's how I run 3 and 4, and then I cut back from the apron. But I noticed, like, a lot of guys, like, you know, that I've run with in the past, they don't cut down on the apron. They try to stay on the track surface. How, you know, when it comes to the, you know, your driving line, how are you here?
Generally, coming out of 3, I like to get close to that inside barrier wall, and then I like to be able to get in the throttle, right back out towards the wall, hitting the line. And then once I hit the line, depending on how the track congestion is, if I got a clear lane in front of me, I will drop back down underneath the yellow line to try to shorten the distance between turn 4 and turn 1. So obviously the shortest way around a track's the inside, but it all depends on if you can maintain your momentum. So if you do it wrong, you have to brake harder, you have to roll further. So it's just a driving style issue, I think. But that's how I like to run 3 and 4, is deep in and high off.
Right.
No, I mean my Ross.
You know, like I said, there's a lot of fast guys in here tonight. Lot of very competitive guys. But like I said, the Championship 4 is fighting really hard. You know, all 4 of them want to win a championship. And as I just got word, I don't know if Motivated's going to be making it. So if he don't make it, it'll be between me and Fireman and myself. Tough break for him if he doesn't make it. Which Motivated, he'll tell you one thing, and then, you know, he's the type of a guy that he'll just pop up out of nowhere. So he's kind of like one of them guys you just kind of got to play with. You just, you know, go with the flow.
Almost like an eclipse, don't you say, right?
Right. So, and, you know, Fireman, he's struggling with a toothache. He's, you know, not really wanting to get in the car, but he said he wants to race because he's fighting for a championship. and all he said he wants to do is beat that B-Mean guy. He said that's all
a
he
strong
wants to
competitor down on those lines, eh?
Yeah.
Right. I agree. You know, seeing Kyle Busch when he broke his leg, he was wanting to get back in the car with a broke leg. So I mean, it takes a very strong competitor to get back in the car once something like that happens, or they're in pain. So I mean, as you've seen Bubba Wallace, he got out of the car and could barely stand up from the heat exhaustion after the Charlotte race. So, I mean, there's takes a very hard, strong, tough driver to stay in a car or get in a car when they're in so much pain or they're hurting.
Yeah, I'll say this too. 150 laps here. It's going to take a lot of focus. I know some people just watch, some people actually participate when you're driving on some of these tracks, and you got to hit a mark 150 times in a row on a championship night, or it may not end up well for you. So you don't want to leave anything on the track. Going for a championship, you want to make sure you hit your marks. And 150 laps is a lot for anybody, much less if you're dealing with a toothache or any other problem that wouldn't keep you at 100% on your best. So, hats off to him. He tries to make it, he runs well, and we hope he does, and we hope to have a good competition for the championship.
Oh yeah, I agree. I'm ready. Pre-race ceremonies will kick off after qualifying. Qualifying will be at 6 p.m. tonight. Pre-race ceremonies will kick off after that. We will have the 4 championship drivers will be giving a driver introduction thing, as they will say their truck number, where they're from, their name, and give a little bit about themselves. So the fans kind of get an insight on the championship 4. Other than that, everybody else,
on the track.
don't say nothing. So if you want to tune in and watch it, it'll be 150 laps, 3 stages.
We have to be safe on the
about
track.
6:15 tonight. So for the race, I will be going live for qualifying. It will be about 6 o'clock for that. So if you want to watch, make sure you tune in and get all the action. I'm Code Man, and I'm alongside
Insidious Craves.
And we are gonna head on out of here and end this live stream. So until then, see y'all at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, go ahead. Don't forget to put in the comments, pull for 22.
Yes, sir. Make sure you pull for that number 22. We are clear.
Oh.
Yes, sir! Yo, that right there is how you do some interviewing now. Hey, let me know down in the comment section below, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Stupid.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, I had those questions popped off my head like faster than you could say peanut butter. With peanut butter in your mouth.
That's right, that's right. That was fun, dude.
I actually enjoyed that, bro.
I get so, like, I feel like I'm tripping over my words. I hope it doesn't come off.